my go-to stitch for bringing a little vintage kitsch into clothing or home decor are granny squares. I love granny squares. Part of it is because I collect vintage knitting and crochet magazines, and they always have the most amazing granny square projects in them. But the other thing is there's something that feels a little bit modern by the modular construction and how you can really add a little tiny one to an edging or go big and it can be a blanket. There's so many possibilities. So I'm going to show you the very basics of how you can get started on crocheting a granny square. All right, so I have my bamboo hook. I've got some yarn. You can either make these multiple colors or just one color. You're going to start by making a chain of 6. Then you want to slip stitch in the first chain. And what that does is that creates your center ring. And you can see that there. Okay, so from here, we're going to be working in our center of our ring. First, we're going to chain 3, and that's because we're about to do a double crochet, and we need to create the height for that. So we'll do 2 double crochets. And that counts as our first granny cluster. All right, then to create the corners, we're going to chain 3 more. And then we want another set of clusters. 1, 2, and then my third double crochet. Then we're at our next corner. Chain 3, and then we work in our center ring again. We're creating our next cluster, which is 3 double crochets. And then because we're making a square, we know we need a 4th one, so a 4th cluster. We're making a corner, chain 3. Then we're making our last cluster with 3 double crochets. If you're watching not in the US, these are trebles. Okay, so we're at the end. We need 1 more corner, so I'm chaining 3 again. And you can see my square is almost complete, but I want to join a new color for my next round. So you want to do that before you join. So I'm going to insert my hook in the top of that beginning chain, and I'm actually going to go under both loops. But honestly, just as long as you get them together, it's no big deal. I'm going to lay over that second color, and I pull it through. And that is how I join the second color. I'm going to let go of that first color. I'm going to move this over here so you can see a little bit easier. Okay, from here, and just so you know, I'm working from a chart. You can work from written instructions or a chart, and I'll provide both of those on our website. I'm going to chain 3, again, just like before. That's going to create our double crochet height, but I want an additional chain, so 4 altogether, because this is going to be like a double crochet, and this is going to act as a chain 1. And I'll show you what I mean as I go around. So from here, for round 2, we're going to work in the corners. And again, these are clusters of double crochets in the US, trebles in the UK. This is a corner though, so we need to do those chains again. 3 chains. And then we're going to do another cluster of 3 double crochets, all still in that same 3 chain space. Okay, so you see what I mean? So all of those stitches that we just worked were all done in that chain 3 space from the round before. Okay, then I'm going to chain 1. That will get me over all of these double crochets from the round below without it bunching. And then I'm going to repeat the exact same thing, which is 3 double crochets in the chain 3 space, chain 3, and then I'm going to repeat those 3 double crochets, trebles if you're not in the US. All right, so I've finished that second corner. From there, I need to chain 1 so I can get over the next 3 stitches, and then I'm going to repeat. Okay, now I'm ready for my last corner. So from here, we're going to chain 1 to get, again, over that space. We're going to the next corner. We're going to do another cluster. So again, still double crocheting. Then, as we do round our last corner, you'll notice that where we started, that beginning chain 3, it was a chain 4, but the chain 3, the beginning chains of the chain 3 is going to count as our last double crochet. So that means that we only need to do 2 more. Then when we join the round, and if we weren't going to join another color for the next round, if we were going to continue in this color, then we don't have to do anything except count up 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. We know that that 4th one was supposed to be a chain space, so we leave that be. We insert the hook in that chain, yarn over, pull through, and that is a slip stitch. And you can continue in that manner for as long as you want your square to be big. And you can see that I've done something like that here in different colors. It can get as big as you want with just some minor changes. And I will have the entire chart and pattern for a granny square on the knitshow.com. And if you don't feel like going bigger, you can just practice making 2 little squares, and you can make your own pin cushion by just making 2, sewing them together. So cute, a little vintage kitsch for your craft room.